seeing them, right? So we have a lot of people on this call that you can network and connect with, and who knows, your next destiny helper, let me put it that way, might also be on this call as well. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I would not want to do this for too long. I'm Maiwa Rachel Popola. I'm a registered nurse in the United Kingdom, and I'm also a nurse career strategist. So a lot of you, if you've connected with me on LinkedIn, you probably know who I am. So, and then of course I'm going to do a bit more about introducing myself later on, right? So, and then we are going to be bringing our guest speaker up in a moment. So before then, I would like to introduce and then read a short bio. Give me a moment. I'm trying to share my screen. Yes. Okay. Okay. Mm. Give me a moment. So sorry. I'm still trying to figure out this.
You follow me now. No, I'm not going to Ketu. You will go to Ketu. I'm going to buy Gary now. Come and buy Gary.
Can we please make sure that
I'm not into this money.
or is it okay if you can mute everyone from your end, man, so that we will not be distracted? All right. Okay, I'm not able to, I did not get the screen I intend to share, but I'm going to read from here. All right, so I'll be introducing our guest speaker, like I said. Our guest speaker for tonight is Ibilola Okunola. Ibilola Okunola is a registered nurse certified in Nigeria and Australia with dual masters in nursing and certifications as a trainer and assessor. With over a decade of expertise across research, training, and leadership, she excelled in propelling nurses' careers forward. And as an author and the founder of Transpire Nursing, she specializes in career development, focusing on transitions, professional growth, and networking. Ladies and gentlemen, with a loud ovation, of course, a loud virtual ovation, can we please welcome our guest speaker for tonight, Ibilola Okunola. Can you please welcome her in the comment section? I want to feel her energy in the comment section. Come, otherwise she's not going to come out tonight. So we just close this meeting and then go. Come on, come on, come on. Keep it coming. Thank you so much, Mary Joseph, for that round of applause. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Keep it coming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma, for having you on this call tonight. And like I said, you look so beautiful, by the way. It's so nice to see your beautiful face on this call tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. The energy, I love the energy in the house, and I'm so happy everyone joined from across the globe. We have people from Uganda, South Africa. I can see Mary Joseph, I think she's from the UK. It's so amazing to have you all here. So I'm just gonna be sharing my
next month, Chioma go invite us.
Maya, is it okay to just follow up with people, just to mute them when they join the presentation, please? All right, so I'm just going to be sharing my screen and we'll get started from there.
We can't hear you, Ma. You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Okay, all right. So today we're going to be looking at navigating career transitions, practical tips for transitioning between different roles in nursing. And my name is Ibilo Lokola. Thank you for that amazing introduction, Mayowa. So about me, I'm also a trainer. I'm an assessor. I'm also a sectional academic with the University of Newcastle. I lecture nurses, and I'm also the founder of Transpire Nursing, where we help nurses to navigate their career path with confidence and ease. So today, we're going to be looking at clinical and non-clinical career opportunities in nursing. So we're going to be looking at what are the roles that you can transition into as a nurse. And after that, we're going to be looking at role transition. What are the steps you need to take to help you to transition between nursing roles seamlessly and confidently as a registered nurse? And also we'll be looking at some challenges that you might encounter while you transition between roles, and also nursing career paths. Can somebody said, I can't hear you. Is it Kadria? Can she hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can, ma.
Okay, all right. And after, we're going to be looking at nursing career paths, and we're going to be having the question and answer session as well after. So today, probably perhaps you don't even know why you're here today, or you want to, probably you're thinking, why is this important? I remember some years ago, I was also in this situation trying to look for answers, information on how to navigate my career path. And I was looking for a career reset. I was feeling myself in this nursing career. I wanted more. And, I attended some webinars like this too some years back. And probably that's why you're here today. You're looking for answers to how probably you can move from non-clinical roles to non-clinical roles. You're looking at the demanding nature of nursing. You need something different. You want to try something different. You want to explore different nursing career paths. So this webinar is a must for you to join today, and I'm happy that you're here to have the answers to some of those questions. So I feel that it's important before we start to look at what are even these nursing roles? What are these different nursing roles? And we're going to be looking at nursing career opportunities, okay? So nursing career opportunities are roles or job positions that are available in nursing or within the healthcare system that you can explore as a registered nurse, or if you're just starting your career or you're already in your career. These are opportunities you can tap into, and these are the roles we're talking about. So I'm going to be giving us some strategies on how we can learn these opportunities in nursing. Number one strategy that has worked well for me and has worked well for others is you need to use industry-specific keywords. When you're searching for roles, all right, probably you're looking for maybe tech nursing, or you're looking to be a nurse informaticist. You need to look at industry-specific words. So that will help you to niche down on those job opportunities. Or probably you're looking for a clinical leadership role in nursing, or you want to be a nurse manager. These are some of the keywords you need to use. Now, after you have done that, it's also important that you filter your search, because I noticed that sometimes nurses will make some of those mistakes when we're looking for jobs on the career website or job boards or portal. So we need to narrow it down. We need to look at our specialty. What area of specialty? Probably you're looking for a job in critical care. You need to narrow it down. Your location, probably you're looking for in the UK, in South Africa, in Uganda. because all these website or job boards or portal, they actually differ per location or per country. So it is important you take cognizance of this. Then after you have done that, you need to set up alerts on your job portal. This is very important. These are practical tips that I'm giving you, because I noticed that sometimes we are so caught up in our work, or we're caught up in our daily activities, and we don't get to know when some of these job alerts or opportunities come up. So, but when you set these alerts on the job portal, your emails will alert you, the phone will alert you, and from there you can, jump on it and start doing some application for these roles. Then you need to reach out to your employers directly. I was just sharing before we started this webinar with Mayowa that the role I started in academics as a lecturer in University of Newcastle, Australia, I didn't get it through the job portal. It was through a referral. All right. So we need to leverage some of this network, to get work or job opportunities or career opportunities as a nurse. You don't have to always get it on the website or job boards as well. And you also can reach out to your employers. If you have you already know what area of interest you're interested in, or you already know the role you want to actually start building your career as a nurse, or you have some organizations that probably you just love to work with them. Sometimes where they advertise some of these job opportunities, you might not have access to their career website or job boards, but you can always go on their website, look at their career on the website. Usually big organizations will have this career section on the website where you can look out for job openings in the organization. And with that, you can apply, or you can send them an email finding out if they have these job opportunities as well. So having said that, and I've given you practical strategies for you to get some nursing roles or career opportunities, now I'll be talking about what are the opportunities that are available in the clinical area and in the non-clinical area, okay? So I'll be talking based on the roles that you can get in the hospital-based. There are some roles that's specialty-based, and there's some roles that are advanced practice-based. I'll be diving into that shortly. So when we're talking about the hospital-based, these are roles that are available in the clinical setting, okay? And when we're talking about clinical setting, we have various or diverse departments within the clinical setting. We're talking about the mental health, you could have the oncology, you can have the ophthalmic, you can have the ear, nose, and throat, you can have orthopedics, whatever, even the critical care. We have palliative. In this developing country or international nursing, we have some departments that are well versed and well developed. So you're looking at up roles there. And what are some of the roles you can apply for as a registered nurse in that area? You are looking at roles around, you could look for roles around maybe a staff nurse, a child nurse, and usually when you're looking for some of these roles, you are usually a general nurse. So I remember when I started my career as a nurse, because I finished from Nigeria. And I worked for a while before I transitioned here to Australia, or I navigated here to Australia, traveled down. And I was working with Obafemi Awolowo Teaching Hospital Complex. And then I was working as a general nurse. I didn't have a specialty, even though I was working in the pediatrics section when I was back home. And I worked more in the pediatrics medical and surgical. So this is some of the roles that are available in the hospital base. And for you to learn some of these roles, you need to probably have a diploma in nursing. Here in Australia, we call it enrolled nurses. Back in Nigeria, I know they call them diploma nurses or school of nursing. I don't know what they call them in Kenya, but I know surely we have similar roles, and likewise in the UK as well. So you need to have that degree before you can start working in this setting. And also you need to get your registration with the Board of Nursing. So in Nigeria, we have the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. In Australia, we have the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. So I'm very sure that the UK too has that, and all over the country, all over the world has the same licensure requirement for nurses to enter the healthcare system. So now we have the specialty based. When I'm talking about the specialty based, I'm talking about here you need to specialize. All right. You need to have that specialized knowledge and skills in that area. So, like now, I worked in pediatrics, medical and surgical when I started my career, but I didn't have a certification in that area, in maybe to be a pediatric nurse, because that was not my area of interest, even though I started with that in my career journey, but I didn't specialize in that. So, but specialty based is about having that certification. So you're specializing in that area of healthcare system of your interest, all right, or various department of your interest. Probably you're interested in oncology. You want to get a certification in oncology nursing. Some people call them. You can have a post basic in Nigeria. In Australia, they call it diploma of nursing. So you need to have that certification for you to be able to get specialty-based career opportunities. And the most interesting thing is that despite that, some organizations or institutions or employers or recruiting agents still flag opportunities around specialty-based, they still will sometimes you can still get jobs in this area because we always need nurses to work and we are short of staff sometimes. So usually they bend the rules and you can still work within this area. But some organizations, if you go on the job website or job board, they will specifically say that they want you to have that certification. Probably you need to have a certification in critical care. And usually in critical care, I know for sure sometimes they always want you to have that specialized knowledge and skills for you to be able to get opportunity in that area. And you also need to ensure that you meet up with the continued professional development of whatever organization or the board you are actually being registered. This is very, very important. Then we have the advanced practice. So in the advanced practice, you can look for roles around being a nurse practitioner, clinical nurse specialist, or clinical nurse consultant. Okay, so these ones are advanced practice roles or career opportunities you can get in nursing. And usually for you to get this opportunity or roles, is either you have a master's of nursing or doctor of nursing practice. Some countries usually will have you have a master's of nursing in probably in that area of specialty. So maybe take for instance, you want to be a nurse practitioner in emergency, then you have to do a master's of nursing practitioner in emergency. So that is how it works. And the good thing about this advanced practice is that you could be a nurse practitioner, maybe in palliative health. You could be a nurse practitioner in orthopedics. So it is diverse in the healthcare system or healthcare setting. So you could get roles in that area. And usually also too, you need to have a certification and get registered with your board of nursing. to be able to, for you to land job in this area. All right. So when we're looking at the non-clinical career opportunities or roles, I'll be talking in terms of education and research. What are the roles you can find in education and research or career opportunities? Leadership and management, legal services and entrepreneurship, and public health and informatics. So when we're looking at the education and research, we're looking at areas, probably you want to go into academics, you want to go into research. These are some of the roles you can get, as in if you don't want to stay in the bedside or clinical roles, these are some of the roles you can get. You can be a nurse educator, you can be a clinical facilitator, you can be an instructor, whatever area you want to go into education and research. You can even be a nurse researcher as well. And you could also be an author or a writer or also a book editor. Because why this non-clinical career opportunity is different from clinical opportunities, because there's no direct contact with patient care. That is why this is different. So that is the major difference between the non-clinical career opportunities and the career and the non-clinical career opportunities. So in education and research, if you want looking for career opportunities in this area, because I know a lot of people are always interested in this area, and that is where I'm building my own career path as well, because I love education and research. I love to impact lives, and that is what I'm doing. So I remember when I transitioned from, when I was in Nigeria, I also did a Master's of Nursing by Research while I was in Nigeria. I did that at Obafemi Awolowo University. And the reason why I did that was because I had interest in academics. So I wanted to start building my career around that part. So it is important that we identify what is our area of interest. What do we love to do? What is our passion? All right. You need to be able to identify what is your strength. It is very important, because with that, you can niche down on what are the roles you are actually interested in nursing. And with that, you won't get burnt out or you won't be stressed. It's important we consider this factor as well. So when you're looking to learn opportunities in education and research, you usually we need a master's degree or probably a PhD. Even some schools will tell you that you need a PhD for you to lecture. So for me, when I got to Australia, I had to do my registration. I have to get my registration done here before I had to even do some courses as well, okay? I had to do some courses here. I did some courses also, which allowed me to be a trainer and an assessor, and also for me to get this job that I'm doing with the University of Newcastle as a section academics, okay? So this is very important. If you're looking at this area, career opportunity, you need to probably go ahead and have a master's degree or a PhD in nursing education for you to be able to land this role. And I know back then in Nigeria, when I did my master's of nursing, I remember that if you wanted to maybe teach in the School of Nursing, you needed to do some, I think, PGD in education or something for you to be a clinical instructor in the School of Nursing, because this is important. Why they do this is because teaching is totally different from clinical practice, and they need to teach you some models of teaching, of coaching students, and even probably developing course curriculum. So there's a lot about education and research. And in research, you have to also have skills around research methodology. You have to improve your knowledge around qualitative and quantitative methodology, also statistics as well. It is important. And when you're also looking at education and research, your skills, you're looking at communication skills, all right? they will always want you to be able to communicate well, and also you should have a good writing skills as well. And usually when you're looking for these career opportunities, I need to drop this. Please always look at the job description. Whenever you're trying to look for roles in nursing, look at the job description so that you will be able to know whether it's fitting into your own career goals or it fits into your ideal role you want to transition into. Because sometimes you might be looking for this education and research, and sometimes they will be looking for maybe 5 years experience. Even though you might have the certification, but because of probably you don't have that enough experience, you will not be able to apply for that job. I don't know if I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, please drop a comment in the chat box. Okay, so that is about education and research. Now, leadership and management. Leadership and management, you're looking at career roles around being a nurse manager, you're being a nurse leader, you're looking at quality improvement nurse or a nurse recruiter. All right. So sometimes the nurse recruiter will work with human resource managers to recruit talents into the industry. Okay. So you can also work in these job roles. And usually you might need a master's of nursing. Probably you need to do an MBA, that's business administration. You need to have a master's in health administration as well for you to get career opportunities or roles in this area. All right. And you also need to have that strong leadership skills. So I remembered when I shared that story with Mayo as well. I remember when I got to Australia, and I'm going to be talking that we need to leverage our experience, our current or our previous experiences, whatever skill you've got is not a waste. You need to leverage on that. And you know, when I got here, I was to start as an RN1. So RN1 means you're starting at the lower cadre. But because I've worked about 6 years in Australia, all right, I moved from an RN1 to an RN8 because of my experience. And with that, I automatically just became a nurse leader. And you know, that was another transition for me because it was not something I was prepared for, okay? So, and that is how leadership and management, these are some of the roles you can land in leadership and management. Even though I didn't have any advanced degree in business administration or health administration, you can still get some job as a nurse leader or nurse manager. If you have that experience, if they feel you have that expertise, you can still get some job or career opportunities in this area. And with time, you can start looking at probably getting your master's of nursing in business administration or management. And definitely some of the skills you need to have the leadership skills. You need to have knowledge around strategic planning and policy development and organizational skills as well. And you also, as a leader, you have to have that problem-solving skills. And also, throughout my years of experience, I also noticed that these days, employers are not looking for your hard skills anymore. Your hard skills are your non-technical skills that you acquire through training. So these are your clinical skills. All right. But now they look more at your soft skills. Your soft skills are your non-technical skills, maybe through human interaction, communication, critical thinking, your problem-solving skills. These are some of the things they're looking at. They want to see how you can manage a team. They want to see how you can problem solve if you end up getting a role. All right. They want to see how you can interact with the team. They want to see how you can work with the organization policies, values, and mission. So this is very, very important. All right. Now we have the legal services, So here you're looking at career opportunities around, you could be looking around maybe a North Anthony, legal nurse consultant. And I have some friends who have gone into that area. They had to go back doing law. I have a friend currently, she's doing law for her to just go into being a legal nurse consultant. All right, she already got her registration as a registered nurse, but now she wants to start building a career path in that area. All right, so if you're looking for some of these opportunities, definitely you need to get your registration with your board. You need to be a registered nurse. You might need to a Juris Doctor degree as well. And you also need to be able to understand medical and legal terminologies, and also have good communication skills is very, very important. Now, entrepreneurship, clinical roles that you can go into as a nurse. So in the entrepreneurship, you're looking at probably starting your own business as an healthcare provider, which we have a lot of young nurses coming up now because, I think it's a new thing since during COVID-19 too. Nurses have been trying to look for ways to help them navigate their career path and not being too stressed. They want to try something different. And now you have coaches, you have mentors, you have life coach. So you can try to start your own business, or you can partner with somebody who is trying to build a business of your interest. So, and most importantly, you need to be able to communicate well. You need to have that problem solving skills as well. Communication and leadership is important. Then we have the public health and informatics. I love this area too because I love tech. You know why I love tech? Because the nursing or healthcare system is rapidly evolving. We are now in the era of artificial intelligence, and nurses will need to embrace technology. All right. Gone are those days where we're just so obsolete. We need to start building ourselves so that we can meet up with the demands of healthcare. So you could be looking at opportunities around being a tech nurse, telehealth nurse. I just got a friend last week. She transitioned into telehealth nurse. So telehealth nursing is most times they work remotely. Okay, they're just using digital communication tools to monitor patients or to deliver quality of care. Those are telehealth nurses. We also have tech nurses. We have nurse informaticists. So yeah, those ones are just managing the healthcare system. And we have some countries actually have masters of nursing in that area. So if you're looking at maybe tech, you love innovation, you can actually look for opportunities in this area. Then public health. Public health too is important because we need to prevent, we need to promote patient health, families, and communities. If this is what you love, then you can start looking for job career opportunities in this area. And usually you need to have good technical proficiency, data analysis skills, health education, and strong communication abilities. It's very important. Now, I think it's important I go through these rules with you because this will form the basis for the role transition in nursing. Because I want you to have a broader view of what are some of the roles you can transition into. And I want to shock you, we have about 301 roles that you can actually transition into in nursing. Okay, so I just gave you just some of the common ones, and looking at the healthcare trends as well, you can be looking at some of these career opportunities in that area. Now, what is role transition? What is role transition? It's about moving from one position or level of responsibility to another in the nursing profession. So you can see a student nurse moving into a graduate nurse, or you're moving from a specialty, okay? Probably you were in pediatrics before, now you want to go into critical care, okay? And now you want to leverage on your previous skills for you to transition into that role. Whatever situation it is about, it is called role transition, okay? And I've been talking about citing my own example of my own role transition. And I want you to know that role transition can occur at any stage in your nursing career, okay? It can occur at any stage. You don't have to be rigid about it. Okay, you don't have to be rigid about it, and you just need to you need to just be open to opportunities that come during your nursing career. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be talking about what are the common types of role transitions you have in nursing. Okay, what are the common types of role transitions we have in nursing? The common one, number one, is student nurse to registered nurse. This resonates so much with me because when I started my own nursing career back then in Nigeria, I transitioned from a student nurse, okay, to a registered nurse, because then we didn't have the internship program for nurses that they have for graduate nurses now. In Australia, in the UK, I know Canada has, and in the US, they always have these graduate nurse transition programs in hospitals for nurses to be able to, student nurses or graduate nurses to be able to integrate into the clinical practice. Because sometimes it is important that they help them to navigate this path rightly, because they found that most times student nurses or graduate nurses, they struggle when it comes to transitioning into the clinical practice. And that is why some organizations or hospitals run some of those programs. Sometimes they can do it 6 months. In Australia, you can get a graduate program for 6 months or 1 year. So depending, I think Nigeria is also 1 year. Maya, am I correct? I think the internship program is 1 year in Nigeria now. All right.
Yes, it
Then we
is.
have, okay, thank you. Then we have the direct care to academics or academia. So now you're moving from the clinical setting into academia. This is another transition that resonates with me because I moved from a general nurse into being a nurse researcher and into academics. Okay, so that is an example of direct care to academics. Now we have general practice to specialization. Some nurses just want to move from general nursing to specializing maybe in orthopedics, in critical care, in oncology, in psychiatric or mental health. Okay, that is specialization. Now you can move from staff nurse to advanced practice nurse. So usually you could start from being a general nurse, and usually when you're transitioning from a staff nurse to advanced practice nurse, usually you would have had some years of experience, okay? Like in Australia now, if you want to move from a general nurse to advanced practice nurse, you need to have at least worked 3 years, all right, in that area of specialty. So take, for instance, I am interested in critical care nursing. I must have worked at least 3 years, okay? I can't remember the hours, but you need to have worked at least 3 years in that in that area or that setting. Then you can then go for a master's of nursing, nurse practitioner in that area. So at the end of the day, you become a nurse practitioner. And what are nurse practitioners? I love nurse practitioners because you have that autonomy all right, to do whatever you want to do as a nurse. So you can prescribe, you can diagnose, you can treat if that is what you love. But it takes, you need to go through some certain process for you to move from a staff nurse to an advanced practice nurse. Then we have the bedside nursing to non-clinical roles. So this is another transition, okay? So I already shared some of those opportunities in the clinical setting or clinical roles, and now you want to migrate to non-clinical roles. Then we have full-time to part-time or casual roles. So this also resonates with me so much because throughout my nursing career, I know Nigeria doesn't have this full-time or part-time or casual roles. I wouldn't know if the private setting is doing that now in Nigeria. But when I was working as a registered nurse back in Nigeria, I was working as a full-time nurse or worker back then. Okay. So I was working as a full-time worker. But when I got to Australia, I have transitioned between being a full-time worker, part-time, and casual because I'm a kind of person that value family. And I'm going to be talking about this when I'm talking about self-assessment. These are some of the things we need to understand, okay? Just for us to ensure our mental health, we are getting value, we are not burnt out easily in nursing. There's some things you need to assess so that you'll be able to understand what works best for you as a registered nurse. All right. So then we have clinical roles to nurse leadership or administration. This is also very common. You see nurses, probably they've worked for 10 to 20 years, then they become a nurse leader. All right. Sometimes you might not need to probably have a master's degree in that. Because of your years of experience, you can step up to that position as a nurse leader or nurse manager. And sometimes you need to have a master's in leadership or health administration for you to be able to probably manage the whole of the hospital. And we have nurse managers, we have health administrators, that's nurses, that manage the whole of the hospital. So it all depends on what you want to do as a nurse. So we've gone through the common types of role transitions in nursing. Then what are the steps, all right, you need to take to transition between different nursing roles? All right, now I've already talked about the roles that you can go into in nursing, and we already talked about the common role transitions in nursing. Now, what are the steps you need to take? I have found out from research and based on my own experiences that when we're transitioning from roles, between roles, we tend to struggle as nurses because sometimes we have that limiting beliefs like, can I do this? You have that self-doubt. You're just not just I don't know how to say, you're just overwhelmed with that new role, with the challenges of the new role. So number one step you need to take is you need to research. What is research? Whatever role you're transitioning into, it is important you look at what is the job description, all right? So usually when they advertise any job role, it comes down with write down some organizations will write maybe the position, they call it position description. Some will say job description. You need to look at this. You want to look at if it aligns with your area of interest, or you want to see whether it aligns with your current knowledge or your previous knowledge, because it is important you do this self-assessment to help you to transition into that role effectively and confidently. So you want to look at what are my responsibilities. Imagine you're a general nurse and you're transitioning into academia. Definitely your responsibility now will be totally different from being a clinical nurse into academics. So now probably you have to start looking up, you have to keep reading around that area of specialty you want to teach. You know, there's a lot of things involved. You need to start developing course content, lesson plans. So you need to have an overview of what is your responsibility, okay? That is just an example. Then you need to look at what are the hard and soft skills that I have in my previous or my current job role that can help me to transition well into the new role. All right. So probably you're working as a general nurse and you're going into academics. Definitely your communication skills will be top notch. Okay. And also you can leverage these as one of the skills to transition into academics. So this is why it is important you look at your hard and soft skills so that you'll be able to also identify areas that you need to work on yourself to help you to transition into the new role effectively. Then it is important that you work with experts or probably mentors or connect with people who have transitioned from that role you want to go into, because that they have the knowledge. They will be able to identify, tell you what areas of even opportunities that are even available in that area. They will help you to identify the problems, the challenges, and with that you will be able to know how well to transition well into that new role. Then you also need to be aware of the governing bodies with that area of interest as well. Then number two is you need to do a self-assessment. So your self-assessment now is you want to look at what is your current knowledge, you want to look at your current skills, what do you have? And when I'm talking about skills, I want you to be able to assess your hard and soft skills. You need to be able to rate your competency. It is important you rate that. And you also want to identify what are the gaps in your skills and knowledge. Because with that, maybe for example, you want to transition into academics now and you just have a Bachelor of Nursing. Definitely you can't get a role as a lecturer or in academics. You need to do a Master's of Nursing, probably in education, or probably a Master's of Nursing in research. So that is why this step is important. Then you also want to leverage on your experience, like I did. I leverage on my past experience in Nigeria for me to transition well into academics here in Australia. So it is important that you look around these experiences for you to be able to transition well into your new role. Then you also want to look at your education. I already give an example. So probably you need a Master's of Nursing or you need a PhD in nursing for you to transition into academics. And probably you need also some certification. So for me, I also wanted to be a trainer and an assessor, all right, and working with some organizations. So I had to do a certificate in training and assessment for me to be able to start developing curriculums, working with organizations. So self-assessment is very important for you to discover yourself, to identify your gap in knowledge and skills for you to be able to transition well into that new role. Then after you've done a self-assessment, then you need to take action. That is the next step. You need to take action. So you already identify you have a skill gap, you have a knowledge gap. So what next do you want to do? You want to enroll in that course, you want to enroll for that master's degree, you want to enroll for that certification, because you already did a thorough self-assessment of what you need to help you transition into that new role or into that area of interest, okay? So you need to take action. Then another thing you need to do here is you need to update your resume. I noticed that some of us, we just write resume, we don't care what we put on our resume. All right. So it is important that whatever skills you've got, your experiences, your education, your previous and both current, you need to let them reflect on your resume. It's not like you just write a resume. You make sure that your self-assessment, and that's why self-assessment is important, because there you'll be able to identify some of the skills you can transfer, okay? Transferable skills. They're called transferable skills that you can transfer to the new role, okay? And that you can leverage on that to help you transition into that area of interest or the new role. So it is important you also look at your transferable skills. I forgot to mention that. Transferable skills is very important. So we need to update our resume. We need to update our cover letter as well. Then we need to do professional networking. Okay, probably you already even have all the skills, you have the qualification, you have the certification. You need to leverage your network. And network is not about just messaging someone. You know, these days people want to know what value do you want to add? What are you bringing to the table? Okay, you are just in a professional network. You need to be active. People should be able to recommend you. All right, someone recommended me. There's so many times people have recommended me, and I've found out that sometimes the reference or referral that we need is from within our professional network. Because when people know that, yes, oh, this person is good at this, they will gladly recommend you for the role. You don't need to do anything because they know you have what it takes to get the job done. So we need to leverage our professional network is important. And, you know, we need to sell ourselves. You know, you need to market yourself. When you are in a professional network, market yourself, please. Present yourself well. That is the new gold of tapping into nursing opportunities. Okay, so we need to remember this. Then after that, you apply for that job. Okay, you then apply. You already reviewed your resume, or maybe you've revamped your resume. Then you need to then apply for that new role or for that job opportunity. Then we need to prepare ourselves. This is very, very important. We need to prepare ourselves, okay? Preparing yourself involves, after you have applied for the role or whatever role you're transitioning into, you need to research around that role again. You want to look at, you need to understand the role. You know, what will be your responsibility is important. You want to research the organization. You know, when you're researching the organization, you know, it will help you before the interview to understand their values, their mission, what they stand for. And when you are ready to do that interview, you'll be able to relate that to the organizational goals or vision or mission. That is another strategy for passing your interview, okay? So, and then you then prepare for the interview. And when you're preparing for the interview, I already made mention, you need to look at the organizational values, what is the culture. You also need to look at what operates in the organization, okay? Because, well, do you know why I'm saying this? Because you need to understand the organization culture of whatever organization you are transitioning into, because we have some organizations that the culture is very poor and bad. And I wouldn't want you to go into an organization where you are not always happy, you know, you feel burnt out. Every day you're just nagging, you're not happy. So that is why it's important to see if their vision or their mission fits into your own career goals. Okay, it is important. Then after you have done that, you prepare for the interview, you need to set career goals. What are your expectations from these new roles? Okay, because when you set that career goals, probably short and long-term goals, it will help you to start building your career around that. You try to look for resources, you put a timeline. Probably you want to transition into academia. You might say for the next 1 month, you want to read books around research methodology, you want to read around statistics. It is important you do that. And you also need to have a transition plan. So transition plans will have your timeline, it will have the goals, it will have the resources. When challenges comes, you also want to have some action steps to take to help you navigate that path. Then you also want to review relevant policies and procedures and protocols as well. It is important you do this because it will help you to transition smoothly, at least in the first 30 days of transitioning into that career. And that's really worked well for me. I remember when I needed to step up from an HRO1 to HRO8 as a nurse leader here in Australia. I needed to start reading relevant policies and procedures as a leader. So these are some of the things we need to consider. And you can also work with a mentor. If you feel you're somebody that you are not actionable, okay, work with mentors that can hold you hand in hand to help you achieve your career goals or can help you to transition from one role to the other. Am I making sense? Please, I love people to comment in the chat box. So, all right. Now, how can you navigate role transition challenges? Sometimes you could then have some challenges. How do you want to navigate that? All right. Number one is that I talked about organizational culture. You need to, probably you're having a problem with bullying and harassment. You're trying to get acquainted with the routine of your new role because you're just transitioning from a particular role into a new role. You are still just a novice, okay? Even though you have that experience, you have that expertise, but you are still a novice in that new role. Okay, so what are the things that can help you to navigate that path? Number one, I already talked about having a transition plan because that will help you to be able to manage your challenges. You need to seek out mentors, support groups that can help you. So I want you to join support groups that probably you want to transition into tech, okay? Look for support groups in tech. It might not even be nursing, okay? It might be tech, all right? Because it will help you it will be an eye opener for you to be able to know what are the things or requirements for you to be able to transition into that role. Then you'll be able to receive support, all right? You have somebody to talk to, somebody who can understand you, somebody who has gone through that experience you are having. It is important to get support from networks as well. Then constantly seek feedback. I remember when I started this leadership role, then I had to start seeking feedback from my manager because I wanted to improve myself. I wanted to see how people see my work, my team. So these are some of the things we need to start looking at. And, there was a time I usually look at feedback as criticism. I remember when I was in Nigeria, when they give you appraisals, oh my goodness. When some managers give you appraisals, you are not always happy with it, but you know what? It is just for us to improve ourselves because people, when we work with a team or when we are working in a team, our team members are the ones who can see our flaws, they can see our strengths, and they can see our limitations. So I want us to be seeing feedback as a way of improvement. Even though some feedback can be something else sometimes, but we need to constantly see feedback as a way to improve ourselves. Then regularly reflect. So when you've landed that job role or in that new role, you need to constantly reflect. And this has really worked well for me. I do that a lot. So probably at the end of the day, I will look at, oh, what are the things I might have done well? What are the things that went wrong? It will help you to keep improving yourself daily. Probably you need to read around this area. Probably you might be thinking, oh, probably I might have said this, probably I should have taken these steps, probably I didn't use my critical thinking there. So that is why reflection is important. Then we need to seek organizational support and access to resources. So usually organizations in the Western world or international or developed countries, they have that organizational support. If you feel you're struggling as a nurse or you're trying to transition into a new role, please seek support from your organization. This will help you to be able to navigate your path, and they will always be ready to help you and give you all the support that you need. Okay, and we also need to continually learn. We need to have that growth mindset. All right, we need to embrace challenges. Some of us nurses, we run away from challenges. That is what I've noticed. But if you want to build a successful career, you want to improve yourself, you want to have better pay, you want to get a high paying job, you need to have a growth mindset. You need to embrace challenges because you also need to be determined to be successful. It is important because nothing can be very hard sometimes and very demanding. Okay. But if you have that growth mindset, I'm telling you, you will be successful. Then we need to prioritize our self-care. Please, it is important. If you feel that you are transitioning into a role a new role, and you're getting overwhelmed, it's okay to tell your management that you need some break. Okay, it's just for you to recharge and be able to come back to your new role, charged and more confident. Okay, so we need to prioritize our self-care. If you love to hang out with friends, do that, whatever makes you your mental health well-being safe, please ensure you do that. It is very important for navigating roles in nursing. Now, we need to talk about the nursing career paths, okay? Some of us, we just want to build our nursing career and we don't know what are the paths that we can build our nursing career. When I'm talking about paths and career paths, I'm talking about your progression, okay? What area do you want to build your nursing career? Okay, this is what the nursing career path is all about. And this could be a long-term development for you as you journey in your nursing career. So I'll be talking about some major areas you can build your nursing career. We have the clinical nursing, which is the commonest, and we have various departments you can build your nursing career. You can build it from the scratch, from a staff nurse, a general nurse, to probably being a director of nursing. Okay, that is in clinical nursing, and you can do that in various settings. When I'm talking about various department or setting, I'm talking about probably you're interested in mental health, you're interested in informatics, you're interested in public care, whatever it is, you can build a nursing career from the scratch to probably a director of nursing. Then advanced practice nursing, you can start as a staff nurse and build up to a nurse practitioner, probably leading an organization, leading an agency, leading some governmental section in the government. Then academics, you can start your career probably as a clinical educator, as an instructor, and you can get to the highest level of probably a dean of nursing. You can even be a vice chancellor or counselor, whatever you want to do. And as a nurse researcher, so you can be a director. Okay, Then leadership and administration, you can build your career around if you're interested being a leader or you're interested in administration, you can build your career path around that. So the highest point you could get, you can even be an healthcare administration for an hospital. Imagine you're leading the whole of the hospital and you have a lot of people you need to manage as well. So that is another career path you can explore. Then public health, usually they could be an advisor to the government, on health matters. You can be an advisor, you can be a director, you can work with global health, like WHO, United Nations, whatever you want to do, you can do that. Then entrepreneurship, you can start up a business, small, and you can start having small other businesses, maybe globally, maybe in a state or within a country, whatever business, healthcare business you want to start. This is another career path you can explore as a nurse. Then I love digital health. So here we're talking about being a tech nurse. You're talking about telehealth. We're talking about nurse. We're talking about informatics. Okay, so if you want to build, you could also become a director here. Okay, and imagine you're working with all this. You're working with global tech companies. That's a lot of money, right? So that is another career path. Then if you want to explore global health, that is another career path for nurses to explore as well. So you could you see people in global health, they could become also advisors or maybe directors in that field. Then policy and advocacy. Yeah, you're just developing policies to better the healthcare system or to improve quality of care for families and communities. And you could be part of the government. You could work with organizations, and you can get to the top of your career in that area. Then we have politics. Some people love politics. And then somebody who is an activist. Okay. Some nurses actually love this as well, to be a politician. So you could be a senator, you could be a counselor, whatever you want to do. You can even be an health a minister of health, whatever you want to do, and still you can still be working in the clinical setting or whatever you want to do. Then we have consultancy. Yeah, you see some nurses, they are having their own consulting firm. Okay, some can start up their own consulting firms, building up their own businesses, and leveraging on their skills and experiences and knowledge from their previous job, okay, or clinical experience to start up their own consultancy or consulting business. Then we have holistic and integrated health. So in holistic and integrated health, we have holistic and integrated health. Here, you also can start your own business. You have all these people doing like health coaches, and they can also start building up their career. I think I wrote something here. Please just pardon me. I want to get something here. All right. So holistic health. So that one, here they can work with healthcare institution on run their own holistic health center. Okay. Then we have the military nurse. So here we have nurses working in the Navy, Army, Air Force, and you can also build your nursing career around it. And you can get up to maybe you can be the commander of your medical team. You can work as a nurse leader in the military. You can become a practitioner in the military. There's a lot in the military. I have friends that are also in the military as well. So if you haven't gotten anything from today's session, I want to leave this with us, and I call it call to action. Okay? Number one, I want you to apply whatever you have learned today in your daily lives to build your nursing career. Number two, I want you to work with a mentor, a coach. If you know you're still trying to figure out what your area of interest is, or you're trying to figure out what you want to do, you can talk to a coach, you can talk to a mentor for you to navigate your career path. Then please join professional groups that can help you to transition into your role effectively. Enroll in that further education. If you know you've identified a skill gap or a knowledge gap, please enroll to further your education. You need to develop yourself, okay? If you want to step up, all right, in nursing, you need to invest in your education. It is very, very important. I have invested in education and I've seen results. So please do that. It is important we do that. Also, review and update your resume. So if you were looking for job opportunities in that area of specialty or new role, ensure you review and update your resume. And please, from there, I promise you, you will start having a transformational nursing career journey. So, like I said, or Mayo has introduced me, I help nurses to navigate their career path with confidence, opportunities, and connect them with nursing opportunities and become their best version. So you can get me on LinkedIn as Ibilola Okonla, or follow us on Transpire Nursing for more information on how to navigate your career path. Thank you, everyone. It's time for question.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma, for that brilliant session. It's been a lot of value back to back, and I'm sure everyone can attest to that. And can we please appreciate our guest speaker in the comments? I'm sure you've all gotten value one way or the other. And for me, my notes is already filled up, like I'm writing down. So I'm not just here as the host. I'm also learning as well, and I'm sure that others are learning, you're also learning the same way. In fact, if you're here and you did not learn anything today, I don't know what to say to you, because for me, like, in as much as I say, okay, this is something I still have, like I still do, I've still gained a lot of things, a lot of information from what she has told us and then explained to us tonight. And I have a few points I actually highlighted. And first of all, before I even go into questions, taking questions, or even or like giving my own points, can we please sincerely appreciate our guest speaker? Because I forgot to mention this when I introduced her earlier. Being here with us this night is actually a lot of sacrifice for her, because this is 4 a.m. I think it's going to 5 a.m. now in Australia time. And then she's been awake since about 2 or even before then. I don't know, but I know I spoke with her around 3 a.m. in her own time. So imagine someone like investing her time to come and speak to her free of charge without collecting anything. She deserves all the appreciation she can get. And even as a way of appreciating her, I would like us to go onto LinkedIn, and if, like she said, is a Bilola Okonla. So let's connect with her, follow her so we can follow her work, and then also get to know how you can work with her as well. Thank you so much, Ma. We are really blessed, and I'm very sure we got loads of value. For me, like I said, I have a lot of things written down. And the few points that actually stood out to me before I take the questions. So if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the comment section. We're going to attend to them, right? So number one point that, and I think that's where my core message lies with whatever I do as a nurse career strategist, is identifying your passion, right? Because a lot of nurses complain about getting burnt out and then lack of satisfaction with what they do. And then I found out that most of the time people don't know what they really want for themselves. So they just go through the motion, or they just say, okay, because people are doing this, let me also try it out, right? And then they realize that they don't have the satisfaction they need. So it goes back to self-assessment, to assessing yourself, to finding out your passion. And then when you find your passion, you can connect it to your career path. So if you're a nurse and you know that clinical side is not for you, you don't have to struggle there. You can look for other ways to work, right? If you're a nurse and you feel like, oh, I love connecting with patients, that means you not find fulfillment working in a no bedside room, right? So you need to find your passion and connect it to what you're doing. And then another thing I love is the fact that she highlighted skills, important skills that you can use for every role you're applying for. Do you know that this, whatever she shared, is gold, right? Imagine you're applying for a job and you put those skills on your CV. God, you've already you've gotten those roles. I don't know if that's so that I just said I'm going to say this, right? So if you are we're really going along, those skills she highlighted under every role, they're actually very vital for you whenever you're applying for jobs. And then I also like the fact that she also mentioned that there are 301 roles in nursing. Can you imagine that? 301, like, I'm mind blown. Okay, tell me a profession where you can get that much like roles you can work in. Just tell me, and I'll say, okay, like, do you get what I'm saying, right? So I'm mind blown rather. So, so we have 301 roles we can apply, and I'm sure that there might even be more. And then with recent technology evolution, there are lots of new roles that are coming up for nurses these days, right? And then she also mentioned that they need to be open-minded, right? So you don't have to be rigid, you need to be flexible, right? So you don't have to say, "Oh, because yes, this is what I need to do, then I'm not going to think about anything." Be open-minded, explore. I always say volunteer, see ways you can transform your nursing profession. And truthfully, when you're open-minded and flexible, you'll see the transformation you get in your career. She also mentioned the point of networking. And this is the point I actually wanted to highlight, because a lot of people these days, they say, oh, I reach out to social person, she's not even open, she doesn't want to call, like she's not responding to my. Why would they respond to your child? Because they hold you nothing, right? But you need to come up to them as a person that of value. The way you present yourself to them will determine the way they will respond to you as well. If you're connecting to someone and you're not, like, the way you present yourself doesn't tell them, like, so doesn't send a right message to them, trust me, they would not want to have something to do with you. And then having the right, like, networking the right way, offering value to people, will make sure that you what your name is mentioned in a room full of opportunity. Trust me, she mentioned that she got a role through a network and without having to do any interview, right? I can also say for free that there are lots of roles that I've gotten just because of what networking, and then being a person of value to people around me. So that is also very important. And then she also mentioned nursing career progression. So I don't know, for me, that's a lot of info. In fact, this is a master class that you pay a huge amount of money. Trust me, and I'm not joking. I remember there was a time I was doing a research on Instagram. I go through nurse coaches Instagram and to see how much they charge for things like this. Trust me, it's nothing short of thousands of dollars for you to be able to get this thing, for you to be able to find out your path and then how you can work towards it. So thank you so much. And I said the way I've been blessed, and then I've got a lot of value. I'm very sure others have gotten values as well. So I would not want to like keep us for long. So we'll jump right into the questions, right? So, and please, if you notice that I missed your question, you can still send them so that I'm able to see those questions again, because the more we send chats, the more they get pushed up. So there's a question from Fatima here. She says, hi, thank you so much for this wonderful insight. Please, just to confirm, for advancement of education, being an RN and having one other specialty, is it still required to go for a BSc, or one can just go for a master's? So do you mean that do you need to go for a BSc or a master's to be able to transition into an education route? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Did you get our question from what she shared?
Fatima, I read through that question, but it's not clear. Can she unmute
Yeah.
herself, please?
Yes, yeah, I think that would be better. So if you can unmute yourself, so you can ask that questions, and then that question rather, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so while we wait for Fatima, there's a question from Awufolajan Grace. She says, my career path revolves around holistic and integrative health and the academia, having worked in the clinicals for 16 years. What are the trainings I can do to help me navigate my role well as a nurse, sorry, as a holistic and integrative health nurse? For transitioning to the academia, I understand the qualification required through nights. Okay, through to night teaching. So what she needs is the training she can take to navigate her role as a holistic and integrative health nurse.
Yeah, so I think I've unmuted myself, right? All right. So
Yes, you did.
I think I know her on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining, Ma. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Ma.
Yes.
So for holistic and integrative health is a new area in nursing. So I would just suggest that you research around, because I know that most of the trainings you might not get in Nigeria, Ma. So probably you might need to research around. It depends on the location you really want to get some of this certification. So probably if you're looking at the UK, you're looking at Canada, or probably even online course, okay? In that area, that location, you're looking to get some certification, because adding that to will help you to boost your business or whatever you're doing. So I think that is the way I'm going to answer that question, because it varies. And I also want you to do something, man, because I think you're writing down. When you're looking at the trainings you want to do in that area, please, I would like you to look at the credibility, because we have a lot of certifications that at the end of the day, you do it, is not credible. And probably if you're looking for a higher position, people might not want to accept that. So please, I would like you to look at that for you to transition well into that area. And I love that area, holistic and integrative health. Is actually a new area in nursing.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. I'm actually like, this is something new for me. I think I also need to read more about it as well.
Yeah, all about
Yeah.
looking at herbal medicine, helping people, because it could also improve their mental health. You're looking at acupuncture, traditional way of doing things, but it's actually a new area in nursing. So, and
Wow,
people
that
are also starting their businesses in that area. So, in fact, I think that was one of the things that drew me to our page on LinkedIn. Yeah.
wow. That's a brilliant one actually. That's a brilliant one. All right, so yeah, so I think I'm trying to find this question that Miriam said again. Yeah. So Felicia rather. So she said, my question is that she's interested in education and she has applied for a master's in public health, but not in nursing. What's your take on this?
She's applied for.
A master's in public health, but not in nursing.
So, what do you really want to do? Because what is my take? I think the question I'm going to put to you is, what do you want to do? What is your area of interest? Are you there?
Yeah, if you can unmute yourself, Felicia, and then respond so that we can. Okay, so she said education is her area of interest.
So she started and she's put in for Masters of Public Health, right?
Public health, yes.
So your interest is education, honestly, Felicia. I'm not saying Masters of Public Health is not good, but if you're looking into education, I think you should be looking at Masters of Nursing Research or Masters of Nursing Education, so that you don't waste your time and start building your career path in that area of interest. Okay. So I think that is how I'm going to answer your question, please. So if you know you love education, you need to start looking at certification in that area, because when you're doing Masters of Public Health, um, I don't know. I think it also depends on country you want to work. But I know for in nursing, they might not take you with a Masters of public health to teach, or probably it depends on the area you want to teach as well. But I'm very
Yeah,
comfortable with
yes.
nursing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yes, so you probably might need to start thinking in that line.
Yeah, I was also about to say that unless maybe your area of interest in education is now to teach on public health,
Public health, yeah,
yeah, maybe that's when you can now say, okay,
yes,
but most of the time you might need something else.
yeah.
All right, so let's go to the
Public
next
health.
question because we have sorry, ma.
I said, or probably she wants to start teaching public health in nursing. So that's
Yes,
another area for her as well.
another,
So
yes,
doing
yes.
a master's of public health will still be able to meet her needs. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And before we continue, let me just, people have been asking me about the recording, and I think we need to discuss if this, how we will go about the recording, but further information will be communicated on the group chats about how to access the webinar recording later on. It's for those that have been asking me. So now, so the next question from Miriam is public health the same as community health nursing? Because some universities offer this as master's program. So and then what would you say about specialties that are not university based? Are they worthwhile pursuing?
What does that person mean, university based with specialty?
Yeah, specialty, yes. And maybe you can, if you can answer the first part, why she responds to the other part. She says, is public health the same as community health nursing?
So, public health is actually broad, okay, and sometimes they interchange public health with community health nursing, but public health addresses the population health, okay,
Mm.
community health nursing focus on the community needs of patients, probably in the community setting. So when you're looking at the public health could be all this endemic, pandemic, you're working with the population of people within the community, okay? But community nursing focuses more on specific community needs and interventions. Even though public health too is, you have to do some interventions, okay? All right? But it is actually used, they use it interchangeably, but public health looks more, encompasses the broader view of the population health and interventions within the community. But community is actually narrowed down. Okay, so
Yes.
community, you're just looking at the community needs and trying to intervene as a nurse. I don't know if that
Um,
answers that question, but that is
yeah,
just what public health and community health nursing is.
thank you so much, Mike. For to me, I feel like you've done justice, but you can also drop in the comments if that's you still need more clarification. But because of our time, and we still have a lot of questions, so we need to run now. So Fatima said what she meant to ask is she has a RN and RPN. I guess that would be registered public health nurse, if I'm not mistaken. Do I still need to go for my BSc?
Fatima, honestly, I love the fact that you're on this call today. If you want me to love you more, I want you to advance in your nursing career. Okay? And that is why, because I know you want to improve yourself, you want to get more money, you want to help your family. That is why you need to step up the game. Okay? I love the fact that you've probably started as a diploma nursing or nurse, but I would love you to try to go and do your BSc in nursing. Do you know why? Because it will help you to tap into other career opportunities in nursing. All right. That is why I would recommend that you upgrade to having your Bachelor of Nursing as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma, for your insight. And Awa, I'm sorry if I murder your name. She says, thank you for the wonderful presentation. My question is, I'm currently undergoing MSc in midwifery, and I want to transition from clinical to midwife consultant. How can I go about it? Thanks.
So this person, where is this person? Is it Nigeria? Is this person Nigeria?
Awa, can you please let us know if you're in Nigeria or outside Nigeria? And while we wait for our response, let me see if we have another
Yes, I
question.
am in Nigeria. So
Okay.
how Awuwa, I like that name. So for you to transition to be a consultant in midwifery, honestly, Nigeria, when we're talking about these advanced practice roles or career opportunities or career paths, Nigeria is still lacking behind. Okay, so if you want to transition to becoming a consultant, you should be looking at how to get yourself out of the country, because most of this masters of nursing for you to become a consultant is actually offered outside Nigeria. So you have to, if you know that is what you're interested in doing, you need to start working around that to achieve your goals and let your dream become a reality. Okay?
All right, smart. So the next, thank you. And the next question from Vanguard says, I'm interested in transitioning into telehealth nurse as a registered nurse with 3 years of experience. Please, is this obtainable in Nigeria? If yes, what are the certifications and licenses to be proficient?
So for virtual care, is it virtual care Vanguard that asked that question? Yes. So for
Yes, yes.
virtual care Vanguard, if you want to transition into telehealth, because you're in Nigeria, I think you have that years of experience. But like I said from my presentation, if you want to transition into telehealth, I want you to go and do a self-assessment of your current and your previous experience of these 3 years. What are the skills you've got? What are your knowledge assessment? And look at the skills you can transfer to telehealth. So most times telehealth jobs are remote jobs, okay? So probably you should be able to get some in Nigeria. And if not Nigeria, then you need to start looking at job sites outside the country, all right? And you also need to be able to communicate well, because if you want to transition into telehealth, it's more about communication. So if you know you're still not proficient in that area, or you've rated your competency, you need to start working on that area.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. So let me just put it that we're not going to take any more questions after Esther and she take her question because of time. So we are really far, and we've eaten far into our time. So, and give me a moment. Yeah. So Anna said she's interested in military nursing, but she has zero idea about it. How can I access this field of nursing?
Hannah, are you in Nigeria? Where are you joining us from?
Okay, while we wait for Hannah's response, another question says, please, ma, do masters in guidance and counseling. Okay, yeah. Okay, if I want to transition to academia,
Does it valid?
does it tally? Yeah.
So if you have masters in guidance and counseling, because you're in Nigeria, ma, I must be honest with you. I think it was going to be very difficult for you
Mm.
to start teaching in the university. I wouldn't know if the School of Nursing, because sometimes because they're short of staff now, they might still take it, but usually they will always want you to have a master's in education. Or another thing you can do is with this master's in guidance and counseling, you can go and get a PGD in education so that you
Mm.
can start probably from the School of Nursing. Then from there, you can start building your career path in academics. So go and ask around about that PGD. I know they still do it very well. I have some friends who did that before I left to Australia. So start building. I would like you to do that PGD because I wouldn't want you to waste much time. And honestly, you have 16 years of experience. So you already have that
Yes.
experience for you to be able to mentor young nurses or to be able to teach. So please go and do that PGD program in education.
Yes. All right. So to the next question from Jimmy, she said, "You're doing an amazing job, ma'am. Public health nursing and nursing on its own, which is highly recognized." And then the second part is, "I studied botany in my first degree and I'm interested in public health nursing. Would that be possible?"
Can you repeat that again, Mayowa?
Yes, 1 minute. Yeah. So public health nursing and nursing on its own, which is highly recognized. Then the second part is, or do you want to answer that before I read the second part?
Public health and nursing on its own, which one is highly
It's
recognized?
highly recognized.
Honestly, there's no one that is not recognized. Okay? But I'm just happy that you guys are here today because I love nursing. Do you know why? Nursing, there's so much opportunities to tap into in nursing. It's just that we don't have the right information. It is flexible, there's job security. You can never run out of job in nursing if you know what you're doing. Imagine you
Yes.
finish with somebody who did economics, some of your colleagues, they're still struggling to get a job. I'm not saying there's still some nurses that are still struggling to get a job. Absolutely. But there's job security. This is why I love nursing. So it then depends on what you really want to do. So I would say there's no one that is not recognized. But public health nursing, both nursing, it is absolutely great.
Yeah. So the second part says, "I studied botany in my first degree. I'm interested in public health nursing. Would that be possible?"
So, Edika, it all depends on probably you want to, I don't know which country you're from. And if you want to transition, probably you're in Nigeria. If you did botany and you want to go into nursing, because you can't just go into public health nursing from botany. Botany is about plants, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, botany is about
Yes, yes.
the study of plants. So I don't think you'll be able to go into public health nursing because these are two hands. Okay, even though you can be able to transfer some skills into that, but if you want to become a public health nurse, you also need to start looking on how to get your registration as a registered nurse as well, so that you can then navigate your path into public health nursing.
Yes. Thank you for that. And just to add, like she said, depends on where you are. If you're in Nigeria, that's the part. But like I know that outside like some countries, they offer bridge courses if you are a science student. So it also depends on your location as well. So
And
and so
to buttress what you just said, Mayowa, I have somebody here in Australia who did economics from Nigeria and transitioned into nursing. So there's still some countries are still very flexible with your transition, but I know definitely if that person is from Nigeria, it might be very difficult for her to get into public health nursing with botany.
yes, thank you, ma. So yeah, so Anna should do person, if I'm not mistaken, that asked about military nursing. She's in Nigeria, so she responded already.
Yeah, so if you want to get into military nursing, Anna, you have to look up probably military, you have Air Force, you have Navy, whatever you want to join, okay? Then you need to research about some institutions or probably their, what do they call this? You need to look out for military services around you, all right, around your location. Go and ask questions. You can go to the military hospitals and see how you can get job opportunities in that area. Because I know sometimes all this military, navy, sometimes some of the career opportunities are not advertised, okay? And you just need to make some inquiry. And honestly, they're always looking for people to work in all this military, navy, air force, or whatever. So they're always looking for people to work. So you need to research around your location, okay? Or within Nigeria, and start looking for how you want to navigate your career path into military.
All
And
right,
you also
thank you.
need
Let
to
me,
have a updated resume, because if you're already a registered nurse, you need to go with something, right? For them to employ you. So you need to have your resume reviewed. You need to look at your skills and get that organized before you go as well.
Thank you so much, Ma. Please will not take any question, otherwise we're not going to leave this place today. So, and I know that another person already dropped. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to take the last question, but we have two more. So I intentionally want to read the last one before the one before her, because she's a student nurse and I know that we have lots of student nurses. So because last week I had the privilege of speaking with NUNSA National. That's the National Association of University Nursing Students in Nigeria, on non-career non-clinical roles in nursing. So, and some of them are on this call because of that. So, and this might be one of them, and they would need this guidance because a lot of them have questions regarding transitioning in nursing. So she said, Chineye said, thank you so much. I'm already connected with you on LinkedIn. I didn't join early enough, but from the little I've been able to grab, I'm honored. I want to ask if you could give any tips for someone that's still a third year nursing student in Nigeria.
Who is a third year nursing student in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, yes.
So, if you're a third nursing student in Nigeria, I must congratulate you that you are in the right profession, and the sky is just your limit, and you're going to break boundaries and be successful in this career. So, my tips for you is I want you to start keeping track of your clinical experiences, okay? And why am I saying this? Because by the time you graduate, you can be able to use this to land your career opportunities. And if you're looking at probably transitioning abroad or looking at international nursing, this will also help you to be able to transition well into international nursing. So that is one tip I'm going to give you. Then I want you to invest in yourself, please. When you're on your clinical placement, please, it's not a joke. I shared my experience of, okay, I've not shared my experience of how I got a scholarship here in Australia. I got a scholarship because I was the best student in my set. And because I had a good CGPA, that allowed me to get a scholarship here, probably after how many years? Probably after 6 or 7 years that I finished. So whatever your hands find you, please do it well, with all diligence, with all determination. Even if you face any challenge, please, just believe that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? And with that, you will triumph and be able to navigate your career path. And lastly, please build good professional relationship with your colleagues, with your team, with your bosses. Because I found out that when I started, no one told me about having good relationship with our bosses or managers, because usually you would need a reference or referral from them. I remember when I wanted
Yes.
to come to Australia, I needed to start looking for all the bosses I have worked with. They wanted me to get a reference letter from them. Imagine I was not a good staff. Probably they might have given me a bad reference. In fact, I think there was a time they needed to send a reference letter on my behalf. I didn't see that reference letter, and they needed to send that to APRA. And APRA is the governing body here for our registration. That could have deterred my future. So I would like you to please build a professional relationship with your colleagues, with your team while you're still in school. This is very, very important.
Thank you so much, ma. I'm very sure those are good for her. And please put those in your left hand, like we say in my country. Don't eat with it. All right. So, God, I'm very sure we're all getting like lots of value. For me, like it's been value back to back. So I don't know if you allow us to take two more questions, if that is all right with you, ma.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
All
okay.
right. So sorry to keep you this long. So we yeah, we have Esther. Esther said, I have an interest in nursing consultancy. Can you recommend an international school that offer this course?
You are interested in nurse consultancy? Can I know your years?
Nursing consult.
Can I know your years of experience, please?
Yeah, so while we wait for Esther, then we have someone, she doesn't have name, Xiaomi or something like that. Is auxiliary nursing recognized abroad?
Definitely, auxiliary nursing is not recognized. Do you know why? We have policies and you get yourself into trouble. Unlike Nigeria, we have the CHUs, we have the auxiliary nurses. Nursing abroad, we only have professionals. And that is why I'm bent on, if you want to explore international nursing, please put in all the determination now and get all the certification you need to get, because it will help your journey to be short and you'll be able to navigate into the career path smoothly and confidently. So auxiliary nurses is not accepted in Australia, is not accepted in the UK or Canada because everything is regulated. We have the board, nursing board of Australia or whatever council are ensuring that things are regulated. In fact, in Australia, they get all your details. They have your home address. You can't run anywhere. So if you commit any atrocity, you are you're in trouble. Your license, registered nurse abroad is big deal.
Mm.
You need to hold your license with everything that you have within you, because any mistake, you can get fired and you can lose your license. So there's no auxiliary nurse. And for that person, I would like you to encourage you to please further your education as well to improve yourself, please. It is very important.
Yes, yes. Thank you for saying that, because I also wanted to highlight that if maybe I don't know whatever challenge you have for you to go into that part, but you can always start somewhere in your career. We have people that started with just their nursing diploma, and
Yes.
then now they've grown with in leap and bound in their profession, right? And then the I think that is the next last question. Okay, yeah. So Esther that asked about nursing consultancy, she says she has 9 years of experience.
Oh, wow. So, Esther, honestly, you can be able to apply for Masters of Nursing practitioner in probably in developing countries. Okay, you can look around UK, Canada, Australia, or United States, and you can look at Masters of Nursing practitioner. So probably even then have an area of interest, because some of these masters too, you could get masters of nursing in palliative, nurse practitioner in palliative oncology. So you need to still niche down again, or you want to do just a broad masters of nursing practitioner. So your years of experience is okay, because with that, at least you have some years of experience that can help you to become a nurse practitioner. But if you're in Nigeria, I wouldn't know, because some of these advanced roles are still not very um, developed and defined. So probably you might have a problem trying to secure a job opportunity in Nigeria. Or even if you secure, they might not pay you well. All right.
Thank you so much, ma. I'm so sorry. Like we have like questions coming in as, and that's why you need to join early so that you can ask your questions. You'll not be able to take any more questions because, like I said, our speaker has been awake since before 3 a.m. Right? And she also needs a rest. So I'm so sorry. Probably if you can drop your questions on the group chat if she has time, if she's able to, maybe if she's in a good mood, she can now answer those questions and then I can now send them to the group
We
chat.
can
That
take
would be
5 minutes more for questions and we can wrap it up.
oh, all right. So thank you so much, ma. So I think you need to really appreciate her for that. So all right. So someone says, okay. Is a nurse consultant the same as a nurse practitioner?
All right. So nurse practitioner and nurse consultant is different. A nurse practitioner is they work probably in the acute setting or primary setting in the healthcare setting, and they have that power, that autonomy to prescribe. All right, they can diagnose and treat. So you know that they have the autonomy like working as a medical doctor. Okay, so that is a nurse practitioner. But a clinical nurse consultant usually will work in, we have in the various healthcare settings. We know we have different various healthcare settings. So you can have a clinical nurse consultant in wound care. You can have in maybe pain management, palliative health, oncology, psychiatry. So they work in the clinical setting, but they just oversee improving patient outcome of care. All right, but they cannot prescribe. Okay, they cannot prescribe, they cannot diagnose. So they only improve by treating and improve outcome of care. So, but a nurse practitioner can work independently.
Thank you so much, ma. So, NS said, as a registered midwife, do you advise I go for my post-basic nursing or I go for my BNSC?
As a what? As a midwife,
Registered midwife, yes.
do I advise you go for what?
Post-basic nursing or BNSC?
Honestly, if you're interested in nursing, please just go straight to your Bachelor of Nursing, because there's no point wasting your time with diploma nursing. It will waste your time, it will waste your money, it will waste your efforts. So because nursing now, diploma or whatever, we are trying to see how people can go into Bachelor of Nursing. Okay, so I would just advise that you go straight into your Bachelor of Nursing, just to, you don't, probably you might not have time. Okay, so please just go straight into your Bachelor of Nursing. And if you feel that money will be a financial constraint, probably you can start with your Diploma of Nursing, but please have at the back of your mind that after you've done that, you still need to do your Bachelor of Nursing.
All right, man. So Mary Joseph says, if I wish to migrate to Australia as a nurse, do you suggest coming in as a registered nurse or as a specialty nurse, for example, mental health specifically?
It's okay to start as a registered nurse because you can't just enter Australian healthcare system. Okay, you have to. There's some steps you need to take before you can say, oh, you want to become a psychiatric nurse. Even if you want to be a psychiatric nurse in Australia, you need to submit at least, I think, probably you need to have up to 300 or 600 hours of psychiatric training in that setting. So it's not about just entering the system. So it's always advisable to get a registration first, then you start looking at your area of specialty.
All right. So, and thank you, Ma. Queen said, can a medical lab scientist transit to nursing?
Absolutely. Why not?
Yes, you can, right? Right. So
Yeah,
no one is restricted. You
restricted.
can.
Yeah.
And So, and then Uji Unkata, sorry if I murder your names. She says, if I have certificate in health and safety without having an occupational health nursing certificate, can I work as an occupational health nurse?
Can you work as an occupational health nurse? If I have a survey with health and safety without having an occupational health nurse, can I? Yes, yes, because it's still about health and safety, and occupational health is about safety as well. So you can get some career opportunities there.
Yes. All right. I think with this we've covered all the questions. I'm sorry, Mary Joseph, we'll not be able to take your questions again. It's already past 9 and a lot of people are to like start dropping off this course. So it's also good for us to also keep to time as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this call. And then thank you so much, Ma, for also taking us through this call. So I already dropped our LinkedIn handle in the comments, in the chat. So you can just please, we have like 39 people right now on this call. Can you please, 39 people, go and connect with her on LinkedIn? I'm very sure you got value, right? So we need to show our appreciation for what she has done for us tonight. Thank you so much. And then before we round up totally, I would also like to, like I said, just introduce a bit of what I do. And before we round up, if that's okay, yeah, I'm going to share my screen right now. Is it okay if we take some more minutes of your time, Ma?
Yeah, 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 that's fine.
All right, thank you. So, and here we go. So about me and Maiwa Popola, I'm a registered nurse here in the UK and a nurse career strategist. I help nurses connect to untapped opportunities beyond the bedside, maximize their potentials and accelerate their career. And there, I'm just going to share a few ways you can work with me. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. In fact, I'm very sure most of you my connections on LinkedIn. But if you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, you're sleeping on good because I share lots of value. And of course, it is through LinkedIn that I'm able to bring this webinar alongside Ibilola Okonla with you this evening. So you need to connect with me on LinkedIn. And here is also how you can work with me. You can work with me for your one-to-one coaching or mentorship, your group coaching or for group coaching or mentorship, CV or resume review. If you need tips on how to prepare for your interviews, if you need me to conduct career development trainings or webinars for your organizations or public speaking for your events, you can always reach out or book a call with me. And then yes, of course, for my professional CV or resume services. And then yes, because this is where my passion lies, right? In fact, most of the people that know me on LinkedIn know that what I do is majorly focused on helping nurses find out how they can transition into a non-bedside role. So if you're looking at how to explore untapped opportunities beyond the bedside, then you can always book a group or one-to-one coaching call with me, and then ensure that you're ready to get value in what you do. And then if you need tips on how to land your dream job, and this is more of like a group coaching, you can always reach out to me as well. And we have testimonials from people that I've worked with in the past, and this is what they have to say about my services. And I'm actually very grateful for each of them for putting these out here for to be able to share with others as well. So, and then other ways you can work with me. Before I go to other ways you can work with me, I have an offer going on right now for everyone that is registered for this webinar. So if you'd like to enroll for any of my paid programs, you can always, I'm going to send the link to the comments as well as the group chat. So I have a 50% discount for everyone that registered for this webinar. So you can always take advantage of that. So other ways you can work with me, like I said, you can invite me to conduct career development trainings and webinars for your organization or community. You can invite me to speak on how nurses can tap into their potentials, maximize opportunities in nursing beyond the bedside, and accelerate their career. So you can send this DM to see how we can work and partner together. Thank you so much for being here with me on this call. Of course, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. In fact, I'm going to drop my LinkedIn handle now so that you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That is where the value is. I'm very sure many people can attest to that LinkedIn is a land of value. It is a land of value, right? So, and I think with this, we can draw the curtain on the navigating career transition webinar. And let me say, I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for joining this call tonight. Like when I saw the registration details and I saw that people from all over registered to be part of this event, I was mind blown, and I said, okay, yes, people really need this. And I'm very grateful that you all could stay with us till this moment. And then you also turned up as well. And you turned up with, like, the questions were brilliant, right? I'm sure our guest speaker can also attest to the fact that you all were like very good audiences. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I really cannot say thank you enough for doing this with us this evening. We are so grateful. I'm very sure our other nursing professionals and colleagues are immensely grateful for doing this with us this evening. We really appreciate your guide, your support, you're taking your time and being patient to this time to answer our questions. God bless you. And looking for, of course, this is not the end. Yes, before I forget, I almost forget. Please, we have a feedback form for if you still feel like you need something to be able to, that you want us to be able to help you with, right? Maybe you have questions or topics, present topics that you want us to discuss on. I'm going to send a feedback form so you can share your feedback on this form on how the event is for you, and then what topics you also recommend us to speak about maybe in the nearest future. All right, I would not want to drag this further. Thank you so much for this call, for joining us on this call tonight. Ma'am, do you have a final word for every one of us?
Absolutely. So, I think I wrote something here and I would like to share it. So I'm just going to leave by saying that thank you all for joining us today. And as we close, remember that your journey is 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The insights and strategies we discussed are your stepping stones, and this will navigate you through your nursing career. And now is the time to take those steps equipped with the knowledge driven by determination. So I'm rooting for you all, and thank you for all joining. See you all
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Go and make a change and a revolution in your nursing career.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.